It was a great batch of knives I picked last week to fix up. Got them all done. I'm going to show them to you next.
Okay, everybody, quiet on the set. It's the Grab Bag series in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and thanks for coming back for another video. This is Dave, and I'm glad you're with me. Joining me out here in the shop today for episode number 71 of the Knife Grab Bag series. You never know what knives I'm going to grab out of the bag, so stick around to the end and see what knives I'm going to grab to fix up next week. Okay, let's start off this week with the fixed blade. Here it is right here before. And here's the other side of it. And I've got it all done, and here it is right now. So this is our header. And here's how she turned out. So what I did to this knife, the stacked leather washer handle, I gave it a good treatment with some neat's foot oil and let that soak in. There was a few gaps you could actually see through. That swelled it up enough to where you couldn't see through. There wasn't any more gaps. And then I put a couple of good coats of brown polish on it, polished it up, and I've got all the corrosion out of the pommel and the guard. I polished that up, and then I cleaned the blade up real good. You can still see all the etching really good. I'll see if I can get that on camera. There, and right here. So then the sheath, I just gave it a good treatment, leather treatment, and put some neutral polish on it. And like I said, this knife was graciously gifted to me by my father-in-law, and I absolutely love it. Okay, and then moving on to our folders, we'll start off with this one right here. And here's the other side of it. And it cleaned up almost like brand spanking new. This is our Cutmaster Barlow. The blade has a little bit of scratching on it still. I got some of it out. But it's nice and clean. It has good action. And so there's our Barlow. Next up to show you is this knife right here. And here's the other side of it. And as you can see, the anodizing, that red anodizing was really coming off on it. So I stripped it completely down, took all the anodizing off, and here's the final result. So I did some of my jeweling on it. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link down in the description for it on how I do the jeweling. I tightened up the scissors. They were a little bit loose, and they do function now. And just gave it a good cleaning. And so there's our little Victorinox done. And the next knife in today's lineup is this one right here. And here's the other side of it. And this is our old Thornton, and it had these plastic handles on it that were cracked and pretty shrunk up. So I replaced those, and here it is now. So I went back with some West Indian rosewood on this one. And the blade's in really nice shape. It has a nice half stop. And so there's how that one turned out. And then the next knife to show you, whipping right through these, is this one right here. And And here's the other side of it. And this is our old Queen. Unfortunately, I didn't have any. I could have replaced the blade, but I didn't have any of the older Queen. This is a Queen from the early to mid 50s, and it had this missing chunk of bone scale on the one side. So I took the time to make a new scale, and here's how it turned out. They don't match perfectly. This is the old original one. This is the one that I recreated for it. And I put some green in it, and I did some toasting and just polished it up really good. So this is genuine bone I put back on it. And the pen blade's not too bad. The main blade has been really sharpened down, and it has the Queen Tang stamp I didn't want to lose. Like I said, that sideways Q that was used in the early to mid 50s, somewhere around there. But that's how that one turned out. And then the last one is this one right here, and here's the other side of it. And this is our Parker. I saved it for last. It's a little lockback because I'm going to show you some of my smaller size lockback knives that I have. And this is how it turned out. I can't remember which side it was, but one side was toasted more than the other, so I kind of tried to even them up a little bit. Did some more toasting on it to kind of even them up. The nickel bolsters shined up really nice. The blade has been sharpened down and stuff, but I got some of the scratches out of it. It still has the etching on the blade. You can kind of see it right there. And the blade does lock up really well. And it doesn't have any play in it at all. Really nice, functional knife. So let me reposition the camera and I'll show you some small lockbacks that I have. Okay, you may recognize some of these knives. There's a couple in here that are pretty recent. This one was really recent, this bear I just did. So we'll start over here. Here's a little buck 425. Broken off blade, a little bit of the tip was broken off on this one. Little lightweight buck there. Here's another buck right here. This was an advertising for Westside Bank. And this is the buck 525. And then this little guy here is another buck, and it's the 505. And then this, I believe, is a Gerber. It's the Gerber 300. And then this one here is it says Master Knives, probably made overseas. But kind of a cool looking little knife. And then up here, here's a Frontier that I recently did, and I dyed the handles on it. They were in bad shape. This one here is an old Colonial, and I believe it was green plastic handles that were missing or something, and I made these bamboo handles for it. Old Colonial there. Here's an Imperial. This is like brand new. It's the SP2. And this is a Browning. And this is a Camillus. And then up here we have a Parker Brothers, with brass bolsters on this one. This was a fairly recent one I just did. And then this one I put that spalted wild olive wood on the handles, for handles. And it's another Parker. This one's marked Parker Cutlery Company, Japan. And then this one I put mahogany handles on. And it's a Sabre 646 stainless Hong Kong. It's in really nice shape. And then this one is just marked rust free for rust free stainless steel blade. And then we've got this one here was I recently did an etching video. I'll leave a link for that video too, how I did this etching, down in the description. And this was a knife made in Japan. And here's our knife from today. Another Parker, but this one has nickel bolsters. Nickel bolsters, and it's a little bit smaller. Okay folks, I have the grab bag here in front of me. We're going to grab 5 pocket knives. Let's grab a fixed blade first out of this bag. We'll reach in here and just grab this one right here, kind of on the top. And let's see what we have in here. It's a small one. Maybe another souvenir knife, I'm not sure. Let's see what we have here. Ah, it's a small bird and trout knife. This was a West cut, made by Western. This is the K3 model. And you can see the blade has been sharpened quite a bit. Doesn't look like there's any deep pitting in it. A few scratches. The handle, quite a bit of paint and stuff on the handle. I don't know what that is on the pommel there. So it's going to need some major work to get that cleaned up. And that one doesn't have a sheath with it. Okay, let's pick some folders out. Let's see what we've got here. Here's one in a bag. Right here. Which means it's already apart. Hopefully this one, the last one I grabbed that was in a bag, it was missing some stuff. Let's see, this looks like a trapper. Winter bottom bone, imitation bone. The springs look good. Nothing wrong with the springs. It's not missing any bolsters. I remember this one. So it had this broken blade, very pitted. That's a queen for you there. And here's the original spay blade. And the other blade here was broken. So we've got that one to fix up. There's one. All right, number 2, let's grab this one. Oh, nice. Beautiful knife here. This is a case. This is a case XX. And it has the sharpening stone built in. Let's look at the scaler blade. It looks really nice. Just needs to be cleaned and polished up real good. An old case fish knife. All right, there's 2. All right, number 3, this one. Oh, here's an interesting one here. Nice half stop on it. Big blade. This is a Richards from Sheffield, England. The wraps are shrunk up, you can see. The blade's got some corrosion on it. This is a big one. This one is 7 inches overall open. It has its bail. Just needs to be cleaned up and rewrapped. So that's 3. Number 4, let's grab this one. Ooh, there's an oldie. We've got a broken spring right here. The pen blade's still in there. It's just hanging down inside because it's has a broken spring. This is an old Shapley Hardware marked knife, made maybe by Camillus back in the day. This is an old knife. This blade doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. We're missing a little bit of wood. We've got a little crack here, a little damage here, and we're missing a little piece of wood right here, ebony. That'll be a really cool knife fixed up. All right, one more. Let's grab this little one right here. Now, what do we got here? Let's see. What do we have here? Let's see. It's a Utica. And the blade's a little wavy. Not a very good tip on it. A little bit of rust on it. Very stiff. There's the pen blade. Definitely needs a good cleanup. The bolsters are intact. I'm not sure. I think this one might have been plated. Kind of looks like it was plated. I'm not sure. I'm not positive on that, but it kind of looks like it was plated. But we'll get that one fixed up. So there's our 5 folders for next week. And our fixed blade. So let me know, did you have a favorite out of today's knives? That was a fun batch of knives to fix up, and this next batch is going to be just as fun. So come back and join me next Monday and see these knives in their fixed up condition. And in the meantime, join me on Friday for some more Fun Friday footage. I hope you all have a great week. This is Dave. See you in the next one.